My name is Kim Forsyth, and my two words are striving and loved. I grew up going to a private school and attended church every single week. My whole family was very active in the church, but honestly, to me, church just felt like a list of things that I had to do. It seemed really repetitive to me, and I really just didn't get the point. I thought just by going to church, that made me a Christian. I believed in Jesus, but I don't really think I knew what that meant. In high school, I searched for meaning in relationships and all the activities I participated in. I had switched to a different school that was much larger than the private one I had been attending for grade school, and I now felt like a small fish in a really big sea. My parents got divorced when I was in 4th grade, and I always felt like I had to take care of myself. I could never seem weak to anyone. My freshman year, I searched for a lot of new friends, activities, and meaning. I joined choir and then auditioned for show choir as well at my school, and this became what defined me. I also found meaning in my grades and being successful, but these things never really gave me satisfaction. I felt like I was constantly striving for something that was not attainable. When I went to college, none of these things came with me. I began the searching process once again. I wanted people to see me as successful. I wanted my parents to be proud of me. I knew I wanted to be a physical therapist, and everything I did revolved around preparing for graduate school. However, these things still failed to give me meaning. I turned to relationships and did things that I never would have seen myself doing just a year before. I doubted the faith that I had carried with me for almost 18 years. But because I knew that getting involved with a Bible study was the right thing to do, I started going. For a few months, I felt like I was living a double life. I was doing the kinds of things that we talked about not doing in Bible study, but because of my background of going to church and a private school, I knew all the right things to say to make sure that no one knew what was really going on. About halfway through my freshman year, my Bible study leader started meeting up with me one-on-one. We read a book that talked about everything that Jesus would have had to go through when he was crucified. I realized not only the physical hurt that he would have had to go through, but the spiritual separation from God the Father. I realized that everything that Jesus would have had to go through was for me. He loved me so much that he would suffer a horrible death on the cross to allow me to have a relationship with himself. Because of this love, I felt like I could be honest with people for the first time. I knew I couldn't lead a double life anymore. I let people know the struggles, and I felt the forgiving power of the Holy Spirit for one of the first times in my whole life. I realized that the things that I had done in my past did not define me. My salvation through Christ defines me. Of course, it's still really difficult for me to not define myself for what I do or what I'm involved in. But through Christ, I am constantly reminded that I am defined by Christ's love. I no longer have to strive for meaning in earthly things that will never satisfy. Once again, my two words are striving and loved.